Good morning. It's Marvelous Monday, and do I have some miserable mentions for you? Yesterday was the Atlanta Housewives Part 2 in Africa. Oh my God. What is wrong with You know what? The dumbest thing I heard them say was when Cynthia was like, if we can't get along in the motherland, then we can't get along anywhere. Excuse me? The motherland is not a magic panacea for all your problems. It's like saying all we need to do is just go back to the place of our origins and every problem we have will disappear. Don't you know? Everybody would go to Africa if that was the case. But you're not that bright, are you? Okay, now, I like Cynthia Bailey, so when I talk about her, y'all understand. It's like you talk about your cousins. Yeah, I'm in my jammies. You doggone right. That's the pleasure of creating your own wealth. And when I go to work, I can be dressed or undressed. So, back on the Atlanta Housewives, it's a Marvelous Monday. Let me give you my miserable mentions. First of all, let's start at the top of the show. The top of the show, they're getting ready for this trip. And, Phaedra organized the trip. This tickles me about the etiquette thing, because at the same time, it's proper etiquette that if you're going to plus one to any function, if it doesn't say you can bring a guest, you don't take it in consideration that you should see if it's all right if you should bring a guest. So, Nene, shame on you. You knew that was going to cause problems. Now, they all looking at you like, how's Nene being her friend? Because Nene wasn't effing that man. That was not her man. He liked her, but like she said, he ain't never seen her Hello Kitty. Okay, now Margot, I don't even know why Margot or Candy Burris is there. Really, because you're not a housewife. You've never been married that we know of. Candy got a child. Does that qualify you as being a housewife? I don't know, but evidentiary it does. So we open up the show. They're on the ride to Africa, and they're on the airplane, and this one and that one, and they're taking their makeup off. And did y'all see Phaedra? Phaedra was faded, but she wasn't taking that makeup off. I guess she said, oh no, you will never see Miss Phaedra Parks without her makeup on. And I think she had makeup on in the delivery room. Well, and we're going down the line. Kim's dad, I don't know. I kind of be like, was y'all having sex when Kim was at home? Because sometimes he says some stuff that's just whack. But he's, trying to be an encouraging father. He's enjoying that TV time. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all. And the reality is that when those people get that, even if it's just a 15 minutes of fame, they will take that. If you're an entrepreneur or trying to start some kind of business, or you're a singer and nobody knows who you are, get on a reality TV show. If it don't boost interest, it'll at least boost the ratings, and they'll say, okay, what's that? Valid. Okay, I don't need nobody to validate me that bad. But evidently, in evidentiary, some people do. So they're having this big meal, and her dad gives this big speech about, he's really glad that Croy is in her life, and she seems to have leveled out a lot. Because you know what? Men do not like craziness and drama. And the ones that do, they're probably the ones that's creating the drama. So when you got a lot of drama around you and you can't seem to separate your girlfriend's business from your own, men don't like that. That's probably why Candy by herself. For a while, let me stay on point because I'm going to bring this all together. Candy and Phaedra have a lot in common. Because they both got, like the nasty girl, naughty girl sense of humor. All right. Now, Kim is picking the baby's brains, and she finds out that he might be about to propose to her. That's how they going to end the show. They probably she'll be back for one more season just to get married. Because she had the baby, that's the #1 ratings booster right there. I'm like, no, I know people don't just sit up and plan to get pregnant, but you had just met that man, and y'all was having unprotected sex. Can you say, I'm trying to get a baby by a baller? Okay. She has firmly entrenched in my mind that she is a gold digger. Therefore, you have no room to talk about nobody else if you've done the same things. Okay, then we look at, Phaedra. I don't, if I would kick it with anybody on that show, I'm going to tell you, I kick it with Phaedra and Nene. I probably let Cynthia come along just because she's pretty. But now because I think she gonna hold some magnificent conversation, I know me and Phaedra would get along because she's extremely intelligent and she got a little naughty side to her, but she's nice and nasty with it. She's about being proper and what's the proper procedure and etiquette, and it's not polite to do this. So it's not polite for y'all to put shade on somebody. That's what this girl is obviously very lonely. That's number one. You lashed on the Nene like it was a titty for a newborn. You seem to me, for all the eloquence and all of the wealth you have accrued in your quote-unquote relationships with your sugar daddies or whoever else, and you had to be doing a whole lot of stuff because she got houses and cars and fully furnished, and she's pumping up Louis Vuittons and everything else that's labeled. Them is some label hoes, or either they getting a lot of free stuff, but just wearing it on the show and talking about it. Because what the Basketball Wives did for earrings, then that's what the Atlanta Housewives do for shoes and fashion. So we're looking at them, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, this trip is not going to go well. How do they think it's going to go well? It was good that Kim didn't go, but they made some racist comments, and I don't know if they should have done that. I didn't feel comfortable with it. You really thought Kim was going to come over here to see some little black babies, for real? She was coming to Africa, for real. And I was like, she could have said Sweetie. Maybe Sweetie will snap out of this mind gas. Did y'all see Sweetie last night? She called Sweetie to come and take care of the baby. Sweetie stood over her for about 3 minutes and went and sat down at the table with the rest of the family. She tired of her shit. I don't blame her. I don't do my help like that. I do not do my help like that. When you have help, you need to go look up the word help. And that's not for somebody for you to abuse. Somebody that's got to be there. It's a job. They don't have to be there. They can be somewhere else working. And if you treating them like they chattel or slaves, then you got nothing coming. You get what you get. She said Sweetie wasn't going to get paid for that day. It didn't look like it disturbed Sweetie a bit. Because if she's there all the time, then her expenses are not very high. Taken from somebody that once upon a time was a live-in nanny. You ain't hurt my feelings when you tell me I ain't going to get paid for that day. Then I'll take the whole day. Might take 2 days off. Because guess what? You best be paying me good enough that I can do that from time to time. So we're looking at Tweety changing up her attitude. And then we're going on to now Sheree. Sheree. I didn't think it would be Sheree and what's her name going to be? Cynthia's a shit starter. Now, it's funny how Cynthia seems to be very non-confrontational, but this year she have grown some stones. She is telling Peter what she wants and what she don't want. I wish she had that same kind of attitude with her mother and her sister. But sometimes those are the last ones that we're able to get inside some boundaries because it's my mother. And I don't care. Mamas can be wrong too. Sisters can be wrong too. So sometimes the biggest problem you're going to have is your family. Now, I love the part. See, they shouldn't even did that. That was tacky at the breakfast table. And then Cynthia going to say, I don't know what this got to do with anything. First, Phaedra, you a name dropper. You're not really a name dropper, but you like to claim the fame. You like that notoriety. You like those hookups and perks that come with being who you are. I'm not mad at you because like I said, Phaedra and I have a lot in common. She a hustler, baby. That's what it is. She had on a little pink robe when they were having brunch. I see nothing wrong with it. They're in their own little condo and stuff. The other people besides them is their servants, and they not, that's Africa. They not supposed to say, oh, ma'am, you are not properly dressed to go to the breakfast table. Who gonna check her, boo? It's her trip. So, Cynthia, I saw some cattiness in you. But yeah, y'all gonna be surprised where my miserable mentions go. Cynthia makes the comment on, when they get the little confessional, monologue and they're saying what they really think. Now, here we are in Africa, and she's talking about, kings, a few kings, and she comes to the table with a robe on from Marshall. First of all, Cynthia, stop being a snob. You were a live mannequin. You are valid and valued for your looks. And when that makeup stop covering up some of that stuff, you gonna find out you just a real woman like the rest of us. Your hips is spreading, your hair gonna turn gray, you gonna get wrinkles in your face, and you sure gonna have them as you worrying all the time about what somebody else think about what you doing. And then you're being critical of the very person who invited you on the trip, and don't you know she's gonna see that clip. That's what I don't understand. It's like when they get over there to do their little monologue, they all of a sudden forget that they're human, and they're going to say some stuff they ain't got to reason. You better go back and tell your girlfriend, look, I said something. I sure did. Now, when you go back and repeat stuff that's going to be filmed, you would at least want to repeat it right. When Phaedra went into the room with them to invite them to Nubai's, which is a nice African restaurant there in Cape Town, where they could get some authentic food, she perpetrated. She asked them just so she could get in the room and see what they was talking about. So when they said to her, well, we see that you're not joined at the hip to Nene anymore, I never heard them say that you're your own person. She added that in. Okay, and then when she said she told them no, she said, I'll have to think about it. Now, how you going to think about going somewhere else with somebody else when you set up the dinner at Dubai yourself? I'm talking about etiquette. I'm talking about miserable mentions. Okay, so Cynthia goes back to the room where Marlo and Nene are, and Nene said, I'm not going to be the mean bitch this year. We're going to outsource and bring in one. So Marlo got 7 felonious accounts of some kind. She's been locked up. She got 7 mug shots. She might not be the chick you want to talk a whole lot of doors to unless you pack it. So who? Cynthia goes in the room and tells them this, her version of what was said in the room with the other ladies. And immediately Marlo jumps up. Now, first of all, if they didn't invite Nene and Nene invited you, why would you think that you was going? They don't like you. So I'm like, ooh, I hate thirsty people. I don't hate them. I just don't want them around me. That neediness is so unattractive. So the next thing you know, they're in the hallway because Marlo, the ghetto hoe, and jumped up and ran. Did you say I wasn't invited? But you invited Cynthia. Cynthia says she know how to be seen and how to work it. So yeah, she would be a good piece of eye candy. Those men would love her. But if they invited you, Cynthia, it was kind of like, let's see what she gonna do next. The worst thing you can do is go. If you carry a bone, you'll bring one. That's the thing I know. So next, she gonna be telling them something that Nene and them done said, and all hell broke loose. They argued like children on the playground, and then it was all this, and I was like, when Nene had to step in, and she said something very, very profound, and she said, and this is how I was looking when I was arguing with people, because they look really stupid now. They look real crazy. It's what they look like. Argue with each other like they in, not even, I don't think we are, yeah, maybe elementary school, not middle school, not high school. That, I'm like, that's gibberish. Just going at each other, and really, there's really no good reason why, except for, that Sheree been mean to Nene. So if we girlfriends carry each other, if you mad with my friend, I'm mad with you. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, y'all. That's one that's a good one for you to remember. Some of my miserable mentions for this week. Candy Burns, first of all. You the shit started too. Because she likes to repeat stories that she done heard in the other cast. And she played both sides against the middle. Now, that's why you got used up. But let me just say this to the point of clarity to put people in proper perspective. Your mama wished your boyfriend dead. And the next thing we know, he was dead. You might want to back up with your attitude a little bit. I don't know who work at Roots or who got a hit squad, but Candy, you don't have no clean record your own self, so stay out of other folks' business. Stay out of other folks' business and work on yourself. She need a man, y'all, because this is something wrong there. Anyway, she be a man or a woman, whatever. She need her own partner. Not her mother, not her daughter, not her girlfriend. Because she's a lot of that stuff that she's doing. I'm like, she's woefully inappropriate 99.9% of the time. I don't even, Like I said, I don't even know why she's there. She ain't never been married. She's not a housewife. Nor is that other child, Marlo. Nor was, well, the only way Kim got to be a housewife was she was married at some point in time. Now, who are my miserable mentions? If you ain't figured it out, I'm about to tell you. Cynthia Bailey, you get miserable mention for this Monday because that was just off the chain. You already know that these girls don't get along. That's like going and walking by a campfire and spitting some grain alcohol in it. It's finna blaze up and burn something up. My next miserable mention, Nene. You know that wasn't right to bring that girl on that trip without telling or asking if it was okay. Now what y'all should do, since the three of y'all is on one team and the three of them is on y'all, the tall stay with the tall and let the small stay with the small. I didn't like that. You got a lot of people that's under 5'9" that's looking at you crazy because it's kind of like the equivalent of saying the Heathers and the Boogers from RuPaul's show. Those are the popular girls and the pretty girls against the girls who maybe have a few faults and things and they don't look like the rest of them. It's ugly. Stop doing this divisive stuff. Make it look like black women can't even get along nowhere, anywhere, anyhow. So my miserable mentions is Cynthia Bailey and Nene Leakes for this week. Now, Candy Bears, you are floating close to the edge because the things you say off camera that you don't say in front of the girls is what's going to get you in trouble. I hope you get your boxing skills on. Back to Sheree, as we close down. Sheree, always talking trash. Because you in the gym all the time don't mean you can take one of them girls. I can't wait for the reunion. I may fly down wherever they are and just say, I'm a family member. I could be in the audience and fly up there and just kick Sheree in the mouth just with her horsey looking self. She's so mean. You mean about money. If it was mean because your heart was broke, that'd be different. But you just mean for no reason. You're in the back room with Becky. It's a marvelous Monday. And miserable mentions for this week. Cynthia Bailey, Nene Leakes. Go and read that etiquette book that Phaedra's been reading. Might help you. Keep peace and love for the people. Always.